Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know what time it is. You already talk some sports? Come on. Let's talk some sports, Tiger. All right, welcome back again. We got everything done. I hope everyone had a great weekend with many more to come. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit that like, subscribe, notification, and share with your friends. Show them that there are those that still share and care, like we do here. Angry Faithful, welcome. I know it's Monday, but at least it's past that point of the Monday to where it all sucked. Now everything's okay. Uncle Max is here. We're going to talk a little shop. We're going to be back on tonight with the boys on the panel. It's going to be fun. I want everybody down in Florida where Milton has made landfall and a state of emergency has been declared. I want everybody to stay safe. I hope that everybody is staying safe or doing their best in making sure that they are indeed safe. So please seek help if you need it. If you haven't evacuated, I hope you're not waiting on me to tell you. And besides that, the show, it's for you guys. It's for entertainment, and if you learn something, then educational purposes as well. But first things first, let's talk, before we get into tonight's game, let's just talk about last night's game. Nice job, Dallas. My hat's off to you. You probably made a lot of people selling televisions today upset since nobody broke any last night, I hope. But a great game to watch all the same with the delay. It was a late game, later than a lot of people would like, I'm sure. But the result was, it was a fantastic result for those Cowboys fans. So, yeehaw, Cowboys, good job. Like old Jerry Jones would say, that's the old glory hole. Maybe he means glory days, but we don't know. I'm not Jerry Jones. But if I was, I'd want to go the old glory hole too. Yeah, I feel you, Jerry. I do. And aside from that, the other thing that I wanted to touch on, and I'm sure we'll get on later on the show in more detail, is Caitlin Clark. No, she is not leaving the WNBA. She is not playing overseas in Europe. She did not decide to walk away from the game. Though I did read an article that she will be practicing her golf swing in the off season. WNBA news, the Liberty are going to wait and see who they face between the Suns and the Lynx. So Connecticut and Minnesota. That series is knotted up right now. 2 games apiece. Tomorrow is the 5th game to determine who will indeed play the Liberty of New York for the WNBA championship. And regardless of what anybody thinks, Caitlin Clark, she is a generational talent. It's a shame that the WNBA doesn't utilize her fame. And I hate to say it like this, but, right off her coattails in a way to help their brand, they could easily have done so, and it's not too late to still do so, but you've got to do a little bit in way of acting like you want her there more so than what you're doing now. Forget about what she's done since she's been in the league, whether it be record attendance setting or television or all the money in transportation changes that she has had a direct effect on. Let me turn on one more light here, guys. I'm sorry. Forgot about that one. But, you know, even like with the Olympics, and they didn't put her in the Olympics. All right. Number one, there's no chance that Team USA women's basketball isn't going to win the gold. So not putting her in there really didn't do anything in way of not allowing you the opportunity to win a medal. You would have just been helping you and your brand grow by having her and her celebrity and her stature and her presence there, because people want to see Caitlin Clark. That's a fact. That's not Max just saying it. That's the truth. So I think that Caitlin Clark is a smart, talented young lady that's got a good head on her shoulders, and she knows what she's doing. She's going to do the right thing. But as far as her leaving the WNBA for right now, that is nothing but a rumor that was started that has absolutely no merit to it whatsoever. It is not true. I forgot who it was. I'd have to look it up off the top of my head. I don't remember who it was, but there is a young lady that is going to be going to the or to play overseas from the WNBA. And that is going to be... Sorry, I'm not the fastest typer in the world. To Europe. And left the WNBA. No, she is not going to Europe. That is absolutely not true. Not true. Not true. But you know, I see it on here still. And I don't know why it's on here when it's disinformation. It's not accurate and it's not true. Caitlin Clark is not going anywhere. That is not happening. Now, there are plenty of other WNBA players that are going to be playing in Europe, but at the same time, that's also not unheard of for them to do that. So, Caitlin Clark, what is this? 2 minutes ago. Let's see what this is. I don't think it's anything real, but I'll go in and take a quick peek at it, because if it came out 2 minutes ago, it's news to me. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of clicking bait, as they say. Yeah, Caitlin Clark is not going to be playing in Europe. There is absolutely no reason for her to go to Europe. Yes, she would make more money. She's worried about the money. She's a natural athlete who's talented enough to do whatever she wants. She was offered by Ice Cube $5 million to play in the Big Three. I thought that would have been super cool for her to do, but for whatever reason, she did not. You son of a bitch, answer your phone. Well, how am I going to answer my phone if I'm doing a show, sir? I would be rude, wouldn't it? Dave. Yeah. But no, she will not be going anywhere, in my opinion. Money, she got what, a $28 million contract from Nike for a shoe that has not been released yet. I think she's okay. Money is not what she's after. The money is going to come. So don't worry about it. I promise you. But the big three, I think that would have been awesome. I think it still might be a possibility, to be honest with you, especially now since the big three is rooting itself into cities as opposed to traveling and going around. They're actually having teams in cities situated like that as an actual league. So, hell, Caitlin Clark can make her own league if she really wanted to. Honestly, she really could. She has that much celebrity and she has that much value. And I'm telling you, it could happen. Don't think it won't. Don't think it can't, rather. I'm not saying it will, but that'd be pretty awesome. But that's all we got with Caitlin Clark. We'll talk about it later. The Royals are going to be playing here against the Yankees to try to even up that series, which I'm sure Johnny and the boys will want to get into this evening. So I'll leave that alone. I am in Kansas City, though, so just keep that in mind. I do know a thing or two about Kansas City Royals baseball and Kansas City Chiefs football. Sorry, world champion Kansas City Chiefs football. Sent you a USA article, and you were right. It was talking about her offseason. Yes, sir, it was, David. Her offseason is going to consist of her swinging golf clubs like Johnny Sauce. Going to be practicing her golf game, from what I understand. But definitely not going to be going to Europe to play basketball in the Euro League. Now, I'm not saying she's not going to go play some ball with some ladies. She might, but not with the ladies' balls. No way. Everybody missed that one. That's okay. Next thing I'd like to mention, the NBA preseason kicked off this past weekend, Friday night. Yeah. You know, Celtics fan, things looking good. Went in, or actually Denver came in to the TD Garden, and the Celtics, they're starting out right where they left off last season, and that's winning. And then there's the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron and his history-making son Bronny yesterday getting on the court together for the first time ever in NBA history. A father and son are on the court playing ball together like the Griffies of baseball in the days of old. Except Griffey Sr. was good, and Griffey Jr. was even better, and everybody saw that coming out when Jr. was still a young man. So when you got LeBron and Bronny, you're not getting better and best. You're getting old and young. I don't know that the Lakers are going to, you want to sell jerseys, you want to be in the media, you want to be talked about, you want to be this, you want to be that, but you didn't have to go about doing what you did to get Bronny James in way of actually drafting him. Whether or not that hurts his ego, that's really not your problem. You didn't have to waste a draft pick on him because nobody was going to draft Bronny James. Not in any round. Nobody was going to pick him up as a fucking free agent. It was never going to happen. Ever. And if you don't think that in the 2 games that he's played so far, that he has as many points as he does games played, that is going to somehow kind of be a precursor to what you could expect in the future. I'm not saying he's not going to develop and potentially get better. I am telling you that right now he is not NBA ready. And he was never NBA ready to begin with. I don't care who his daddy is. It makes no difference. And this is not the beat up on LeBron show or beat up on Bronny or beat up on the Lakers. I'm not doing that. But I will say that the move in itself made little to no sense other than causing a media frenzy, sensationalism, and plenty to talk about. But at the end of the day, does it make your team better? Do you find that your team is now in a position that it's ready for, a title? Are you there? In my opinion, most teams in the offseason, front office wise, general manager, president, owner, etc., they're trying to learn from the season they just got over with and improve their team, improve their roster, improve the chemistry of the individuals that they have playing for them. They're not necessarily trying to do anything than accomplish a championship win. That's why they're playing the game, to win championships. They want the brass. All that matters in the end is the brass. But the Lakers have somehow, some way lost their way, in my opinion. The Jerry Buss Lakers were a fun group to watch. They had Shaq, they had Kobe, they had Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, they had Andrew Bynum, they had Robert Ory, they had Brian Shaw, they had Dennis Rodman, they had so many players. I can go on and on. And Jerry Buss let them play ball, and they would win. And then after Dr. Buss passed away and the brain trust that is left to run the family business doesn't have the best interest of the franchise in mind. Clearly, otherwise you wouldn't have wasted a pick on LeBron's son because you would have got him anyway. You would have been able to sign him. I guarantee you would have been able to sign him. 2 games, you average 1 point per game. Did you play defense? Were you remarkable? Were you shut down incredible? No, not at all. I think that you're going to have a very, very difficult time once the actual season starts and the pressure is really on to win, because there's a difference between Lakers fans and LeBron fans. They're not necessarily the same fan base. Diehard Lakers fans look at this and they think, why? Just why? It doesn't make sense. We don't need this. This isn't helping the organization. It's not helping the franchise. What is going on? And then you have LeBron fans and Bronny fans that see this individual as someone who can do no wrong and makes no mistakes and has little to no accountability in the decisions that he does make when he makes them. And I watched this guy since before he was in the NBA, okay? I'm old, as if this right here didn't give it away. But he has had a long career. He has not had the greatest career of all time. He is not the greatest player of all time. And until you can give me a reason as to why you think otherwise, I'm sticking with what I know, what I've seen with these 4 eyes over the course of the last almost 50 years of watching basketball and other professional sports, to tell you that LeBron is great in his own way, and he is an all-time great. But he is not the greatest of all time. That title, if it were to be given to somebody, would have to deservedly be done in an objective way to even the playing field to where we have criteria set up to put in place in order to determine who the real GOAT is. I personally, once again, say hardware matters at the end of the day. All right, you have to have the brass, the hardware counts. Kareem, Michael, Bill Russell. I'll even say Jerry West. LeBron has never even been the greatest player during his time of playing. Since 2003, when he was first picked by the Cavaliers, he has been underwhelming and probably the greatest underachiever that I can think of that gets credited for more than he is deserving of. And right now there's a narrative that's being pushed that's very popular of trying to ignore or forget or erase or try to discredit the 90s as though the 90s never happened. Same with the 80s, same with the 70s, as though those eras of basketball were nothing but a bunch of drug-fueled cocaine addicts and part-time plumbers. That is absolutely the most ridiculous take of anybody's. It's not an argument that anybody can sustain because it's absolutely bullshit. Excuse my language, and it's not true. Not even remotely close to being true. There have been so many great players throughout the years in the NBA/ABA that we got the tunnel vision to we're concentrating on one individual, two individuals if you want to count Michael and LeBron, but there's so many more players, so many other great players that have been left out and that need to be recognized because they are the ones that have paved the way in order for these guys to be able to do what they do now. The contracts, everything that goes along with it. It's very different than what it was 20 and 30 years ago, from the way that the training is done, from nutrition to the way that they sleep and they rest. Everything is evolved. No different than, let's say, a firearm from when it was a musket to what we have now. And I'm not glorifying weapons. I'm just saying that that was an example. We're not over here using muskets anymore, are we? No, we're not. We've evolved into considerably more effective ways of weaponry. And I'm not trying to say that the NBA is weaponized. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do believe that there are certain things that have helped the game and improved it and made it better. But there are other things that have watered down the game to where it is become, in my opinion, not as exciting and not as genuine and not as real as it was when we had the drug addicts, plumbers, part-time players, bums like John Stockton, November, they use muskets to hunt. David has a time machine. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if that's true or not because I'm not a hunter. Not going to lie to you. Not a hunter. Could be. Captain Muff Hunter. No muff too tough, you know what I'm saying? That's for you, Dave. Oh, Dave, thanks for getting those pics in for everybody so I can share it. Maybe we can do that tonight. Dave? I know you hear me, Dave. Dave. November, they use muskets to hunt. What can you effectively hunt with the musket? what is it that you want to go back in time for in hunt musket as opposed to modern, hunting methods? What do you are you like brontosauruses, pterodactyls? What are we doing here? Sorry, didn't mean to get off in the woods. Let's talk a little bit of football. Let's talk about the Chiefs here for just a second. Now, today's injury report, which I read prior to coming on, as I wanted to make sure that there weren't going to be any surprises. Now, the Chiefs are a little bit short-handed when it comes to their receiving core. Rashee Rice may or may not make it back in a timely fashion. We know Marquise Hollywood Brown is done for the year. We know Isaiah Pacheco more than likely will not be making a return until potentially the playoffs. Now, in way of the running game, I think with Sam J. Pirine and having Kareem Hunt and hopefully getting Clyde back is going to take care of the running back situation. Now, in way of the receiving situation, honestly, I'm not worried about it because Mahomes can do a lot with very little. If you have somebody that is capable of catching and holding on to a football, you have every chance and possibility and opportunity to win a game. And that is exactly what I expect to happen. We still have very capable receivers that are able to produce and make plays. Sky Moore, you can expect him to step up and perform. You have Mecole Hardman, which may or may not be playing this evening. That's one of the things on the injury report that wasn't 100% conclusive. Same with the Kareem Hunt situation, but more than likely we should see both of them this evening. Another thing, Mike Dana looks to be as though he was questionable, but it looks like he is going to be available. So aside from the big name guys, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Isaiah Pacheco, and Rashee Rice, three pretty important pieces of the Chiefs' anticipated Super Bowl three-peat, but we don't want to put the carriage in front of the horse. So let's take it one step at a time. There's been a lot of rumors out there between DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, which I think is probably the best option, especially when it comes to a team-friendly deal. Whereas cap-wise, the Chiefs are just under $3 million, and Coop, who is 30 years old, he's had 1,000 where he started out at originally. The Cowboys, go Cowboys! And then the Browns. I mean, I'd want to get out of Cleveland and Ohio, period. And every chance I get, but I digress. And aside from that, I think that going forward, if we're able to land Amari Cooper versus a Cooper Kupp or a DeAndre Hopkins, it would make more sense financially, and it would definitely help fill that need and that void that we are missing with a quality veteran receiver. So I would say that within the next few days, we might have Coop on the roster for the Chiefs. I certainly expect them to put some work in to beef up the roster because injuries are going to happen. As the season goes on, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's not because I said so. It's just a fact. aside from that, the other thing, we got Remigio and we've got Washington, and they're capable. They're quality guys. Remigio, he really impressed in the pre. We could see him really do some incredible things because there's something special about him. Something special about it. If you haven't seen anything on him, look up some film and take a look for yourself, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But ultimately, I think it'll be a great game. Derek Carr knows the Chiefs. The Chiefs know Derek Carr. Willie Gay, former Chief, also may or may not be available tonight for the Saints, according to the injury report. And there are a few others on the Saints roster that may or may not be available. But ultimately, I think it's going to be a great game. Actually, right now, the gates are opening up at Arrowhead. People have been waiting all day, all morning, which is normal for Kansas City Monday Night Football. So everybody's excited. I hope that it's not a disappointment. I expect it to be a good game because they are both very good teams. So tune into it. Have the opportunity to enjoy two quality franchises play. So far, every night game, from the Thursday night game to last night's game, I expect it to follow suit with tonight's game. And then the last thing that I wanted to touch on, and I know that I haven't seen this yet, but I've been talking about this for years, is black quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know whether or not you're aware of this, but in the Hall of Fame, there's only one black quarterback. And that black quarterback is Warren Moon. Warren Moon has never won an NFL championship. He's played for a few franchises, including the Chiefs as a backup a number of years ago. And he played in the CFL. He's got lots of records, and he does have championships in the CFL, but he is the only black quarterback in the Hall of Fame as far as Canton is concerned. And I think to myself, there are other quarterbacks that I could think of that are deservingly being left out, being left out of the Hall of Fame, and I'm not exactly sure why. But the ones that come to mind, Randall Cunningham, Steve Air McNair, because those two in particular did things to and for the game that set almost, I don't want to say a trend, but a standard of sorts of excellence in what a quarterback can do more than just be able to pass the ball, be able to scramble, be able to make plays, kind of like, a good shooting guard in basketball that's able to create his own play and play on the ball or off the ball to create a shot. Same thing with those guys. And then the other one that comes to mind as far as black quarterbacks are concerned, other than the ones that I just mentioned, I'll reiterate one more time. That was Steve Air McNair, Randall Cunningham, and of course, Warren Moon is well deserving of being there. I'm not saying that Warren Moon should not be at the Hall of Fame. That's not what I'm saying at all. But Doug Williams, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. That was with the Redskins. And was he the best quarterback? He wasn't a bad quarterback by any means, but I don't think that him not being in the Hall of Fame is something that I agree with, because it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Stats. If you did something that is relevant enough to warrant you being famous and an accolade that you've accomplished to put you in that category, that absolutely 100% you should be there. So, in my opinion, I would like to see Doug Williams, Steve McNair, and Randall Cunningham, those three quarterbacks in particular, and possibly Michael Vick, because Michael Vick was able to do things that were like a combination of McNair and Cunningham wrapped up into one piece while being so dynamic and ahead of his time that it was amazing to watch Michael Vick. But of course, you've got controversy with Michael Vick, and I'm not going to get into all that right now. I'd like to just concentrate and focus on what he was able to accomplish in his playing days, as opposed to get off in the woods about what he was ultimately incarcerated for. The man did his time, and as far as I'm concerned, you know what? You did your time. You did the crime. Done. In this case. Now, I don't mean to get off in the woods on this one again, but not everything has a one-size-fits-all solution by any means. And there's no blueprint that's going to be able to account everything on us. Everything is what did you say? October is bow and crossbow, November is musket, and December is rifle. Also, you are welcome. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave, and you just helped educate us all. I don't have a crossbow, but I've watched enough Rambo movies to where I think I could probably use one. My musket collection is gathering dust at my dad's house. I actually do have muskets, yes. And I've got rifles, plenty of them. I just don't hunt. I've never hunted anything. I don't mean get off in the woods in this, but I mean, to me, hunting is like if I hunt deer, there's got to be a purpose to it. You got to be able to utilize every bit of what you hunt and make sure that it's, you're not just out there killing animals. You're using it to eat, to survive. You're not just out there, we're going to shoot me a deer. Yeah, got me a 38-point buck. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know if that's a real thing. I'm not a hunter. I am a enthusiast of firearms, and I am a big supporter of the Second Amendment. But once again, not to get off in the weeds too much. But guys, listen. Thank you again for joining me here today. Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody, for all of your patronage, your being here, a part of the group. You're one of us, the Angry Faithful, the Dirty Dozen. They're hogs. Also, Florida has a bounty for pythons. I sent you that video earlier about feral hogs. That should be a sport in itself. I mean, these guys are over here like Call of Duty on it. It's crazy. It was, python. Yeah, there's a python. I remember when I lived in Orlando, and alligators are real. We had one in our swimming pool. To have a swimming pool in Florida is like having a backyard in almost anywhere else in America, unless you're like a bad rural, or urban area. But, oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I was watching that, and it's crazy. It's like Call of Duty out there. They're doing crazy stuff. which should be a sport. That's dangerous, but it's awesome to watch. If you ever want to find something other than this unbelievably awesome channel and show that you can tune into every day at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, not to mention 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday. Talk together like men and women are always welcome as well. But Angry Faithful, new viewers, returning viewers, I want to say thank you on behalf of myself and the rest of the Angry Me Nerd Sports crew. Thank you guys for being here for another episode of Max's Midday, whatever the hell. What is it called? Nerd Sports Midday with Max. I was half right the first time. Think about that. Other than that, guys, let's have a great rest of the day. Let's have a great week. Let's get ready for some Monday Night Chiefs football and a win. And oh yeah, tonight, Nerd Sports, 7:30 p.m. Don't miss out. Chief within the next leave. Also, the National League, if anybody watches the National League, we are all knotted up right now between the Padres, the who else we got? Shit. Excuse my language once again. Play is today with the Royals and the Yankees, and then the Guardians and the Padres, and we have the my God, this is what happens when you don't sleep. It's on the tip of my tongue, but sometimes that tongue tip is just a bit outside. Man. I apologize, guys. Yeah, there it is. Padres and the Dodgers, and then the Mets and the Phillies. Both of those are knotted up, and hopefully the Royals will be able to even things up against the dreaded Yankees of New York. But we shall see. And I'm sure that the boys will have plenty of input on it. They are the aficionados of all things baseball. Don't touch my ear. Guys, with that, I bid you adieu. Which is nothing us out right now with what I like to think of as some of the greatest outros ever. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we'll tackle some new interesting topics that I'll come up with. And maybe, what's this? What's this? Little mail there? Oh, looks like we got some sports cards that came in. Oh, maybe we'll go over some sports cards. Let's see. We shall see. Maybe we'll go over guys like Elgin Baylor and his autograph. Or maybe we'll go over Chiefs running back Carson Steele, Ball State autograph. Oh, we got plenty of autographs. We have lots of autographs. There's a Kareem Hunt, which we'll be seeing tonight, autograph. Anyway, as you can see, I'm into autographs. I am a big autograph fan. Huge autograph fan. That's mainly all I collect anymore for the most part. I still collect other things, but mainly autos. But that's another episode for another day. And I got a lot of cool autos in here. I'll tell you what, I haven't even. Here. Here's a good one here. There's number 1 pick of the Memphis Grizzlies, number 9 overall, 2-time AP Player of the Year. That's Zach Edey. All right. I can do this all day. Last one. This is for America. Probably one of the greatest Cleveland Cavaliers, better than LeBron James. That's Mark Price. That's the American flag, and that's an autograph. My name is Max, and on behalf of Nerd Sports and Angry Me Production, I salute you, Angry Faithful, one and all. Thank you, and thank you again. And as my good friend over here, Backwards Hat Man, has to say, let's get this going again tomorrow. Deuces.
You better quit playing with me. Rawr.